Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we'll be making this card that features the images from the Fast and Fabulous stamp set. It's a Hostess stamp set that's available in the current catalog, and it uses the two-step stamp process in order to make these images. So let's get started. The materials that we're going to need for this is a standard card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded in half. Bashful Blue cut at 3.5 by 4.5. So Saffron, and this is cut at 4.25 by 3.25, and a piece of Whisper White at 3 by 4. I'm also using a lot of my Stampin' Spots, a variety of my clear blocks, and the Certainly Celery satin ribbon. Okay, so those are the basics for this. So let's get started. I'm so excited to show you this. Okay, so for the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp all of the background images. These will be these images here, and there's a couple of different ways that you could do it. You can do it tone on tone, but in this case I'm going to make these all be green. So the background images that you see in green are what we'll stamp first. Okay, so first let's get some of this stuff out of the road. So with my Stampin' Spot, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp up the images. Okay. I'll press that down real nice and good. Okay, there's a nice background. Okay, the next one that we'll do is this kind of the wide floral. And get that image stamped up. And I had these at the top. And you probably notice on my stamping grid that I have some of these images already on here. This is called the stamping off technique, which it'll just, I'll show this on this one. You stamp off first, and then you come back on and you don't re-ink, and then you do that, and see you get a lighter image. So I'll go ahead and leave that on there so you can see the difference on it. On the first one that I made, on this one, most of the images are lighter, but I kind of liked the darker ones. But you can kind of decide which ones that you might like. Alrighty, let's see, I need to get the other image out of here. Use that one. Take this off. So it's nice to have a nice variety of our clear mount blocks, because that way when you have you know, like a stamp set and you're going to use a lot of images from it, then you can kind of prep your images ahead of time without having to take them on and off so frequently. Okay, and I'll come up here and angle these. I've gotten so much use out of these Stampin' Spots. I've had them, I bought all 4 different tones, all of the different color sets, and a few of my Stampin' Spots are finally starting to dry out, so it has definitely been a nice little investment for myself. Okay, so now I'm going to use this image here next, and I'm going to load that up with Pretty in Pink. Got all of my soft tones with this card. Of course, you could do it with any of the tones that you like. I'm kind of a pastel girl, and so that's what I thought I'd use. With the two-step stamping, the images aren't made to line up 100% perfect. It's the nature of it to be a little bit offset, and that's the look that we want. I don't know if it's watercoloring or what it might be, but it's, you know, it kind of gives that really pretty soft effect. Again, the images are made to layer on top of each other, but are not made to line up perfectly. So, let's see here. Got Bashful Blue for these top ones. Do that again, ink up in between. Got something bouncing around on my table here. And let's see. So again, two different stamps. This one's definitely not stamped exactly on, and this one's just a little bit off, but both of them have a really, really pretty effect on it. Okay, and the last image that we have, get that peeled off here. Probably would use better with the smaller blocks, but we'll just keep that one on here for now. And using the So Saffron. So again, my color schemes are, it's a yellow, pink, and blue. We'll get that one stamped. Oh, I just love watercolor prints are probably one of my favorite prints in the whole wide world. I've got a couple of them up in my house, and the ones I have are kind of uber girly, but that's okay. My husband, he lets me do that. Okay, so that's our image. Isn't that so pretty? So, so pretty. And you get a different look each time, and so it's each one is definitely a work of art. Okay, so now it's a matter of putting our card together. And bring this one back into the shot just a little bit. And I have my snail adhesive, and what I want to do first is just go ahead and we'll layer the first layer of the Whisper White with our stamped image onto the So Saffron. Again, the So Saffron's cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then before we put the image on the Bashful Blue, what I want to do is take my satin ribbon, and I love, love, love my satin ribbon, and center it, and I'm going to leave myself enough tail here to tie a bow. Okay, but I'm not going to tie it just yet, but I do want to get it under, I want to anchor it. So I'm going to just eyeball the center and use a little snail to keep that down, just so it doesn't bounce around on me any. And you could do the same on the back side, I just leave it loose. And go ahead and take our So Saffron piece now, and we'll layer it over top. This will allow us to have the ribbon peek behind it just a little bit. Okay, we'll get that layered on. And then we can tie our knot or a bow, however you'd like to do it. So we'll get this looped over. Sometimes I feel like it takes me more time to play around with my bows than anything else. I'll come back and maybe tuck that up just a little bit. Okay, so there's that, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on, again using snail, onto our card base. And I'm going to place it a little bit up towards the top because we're going to have the sentiment "Because I Care" down below. So we'll kind of leave ourselves a little bit of room down towards the bottom. Get that pressed on. Oh, it's such a pretty, pretty little card. Okay, next is I've got the sentiment. It's from another Hostess Only. It's Because I Care. I've done a card with this on my blog. It's so cute. Cute, cute, cute. Take the sentiment, Because I Care, and I'll take the Certainly Celery. And I've got some scrap of Whisper White. And go ahead and get that stamped. And take my medium oval punch, and we'll get that punched out. Then I have some scrap of So Saffron, and with the scallop oval, punch out an image of that. And we'll layer these two, again with snail. Put that on. And we need a dimensional to make this pop up just a little bit. And we'll put that down at the bottom. And there we have it. We have a nice little card that you could use for a variety of different purposes, and that also shows us how we can use the two-step stamp technique in order to create these fabulous watercolor images. So I hope you enjoy playing around with it, and I hope that you earn one of the Hostess sets. Thanks a lot, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.